I'm Ann Williams, and I want to welcome you to this brief overview of the basic process to adopt digital textbooks. We know that learning any new process can feel a little frustrating, but you'll find that after you've done this once, it's easy, and we're always here to help if you need us. This overview you're watching now provides context for 4 detailed videos that teach specific group leader functions. These videos are request review copies, purchase for a cohort, access ancillary packages, and view student progress. I'll point you towards specific videos at appropriate places during this overview, and you can always find them located on the Group Leader tutorial page and on other pages where they're particularly relevant. Just in case you're thinking, why would I want to be a group leader for my school? It might be helpful to preview the benefits of group leadership. As a group leader, you can obtain review copies of textbooks for yourself and your instructors. You can purchase textbooks for students at significant discounts. You can organize your students into cohorts by start date and by textbook. You can assign teachers to student cohorts so that they can see student progress reports, and you can access ancillary packages and share them with appropriate teachers. Now that we know that there are benefits to group leadership, let's get started. In this overview, we're going to discuss group leader roles, define the term student cohort, and look at the big picture process of adopting a textbook. We'll start with group leader roles. There are 2 types of group leaders. There are primary group leaders and secondary group leaders. A primary group leader is a school administrator, school owner, program manager, or lead instructor who makes decisions regarding textbook adoption for a foundational massage program and usually leads or manages the school's faculty. We allow 1 primary group leader in our system per school. As a primary group leader, you can then assign secondary group leader status to instructors or other administrators who are managing student cohorts. This process happens after you've purchased textbooks for a student cohort. Once assigned group leader status, secondary group leaders have the same access and privileges as the primary group leader. They can perform the same functions, and they're able to purchase textbooks or view student progress reports. The simple process for assigning secondary group leaders is detailed in the video titled Purchase for a Cohort. This process happens at the same time that you assign purchase textbooks to students. You've become a group leader by requesting review copies. We'll discuss this process in just a moment, and it's detailed in this video that's always available on the Group Leader tutorial page. Great, we understand something about group leader roles. Now let's look at what we mean when we use the term student cohort. A student cohort is a group of students who begin a term, a unit, a module, or a course at the same time and use the same textbook. So if you have a group of students who begin in the spring quarter 2021 and they use the textbook Massage Mastery from Student to Professional, you might call this student cohort Spring 2021_MM. Maybe this same group of students also uses the textbook Preventing Disease Transmission in a Massage Practice. Technically, our system views this as a different student cohort because these students are using a different book. This cohort might be named Spring 2021_Preventing Disease. So for the same group of students, you might have multiple cohorts if they use multiple books. We want to name our student cohorts carefully so that we understand which group of student is using which textbook and to make student management easier. We discuss this process in more depth in this video on the Group Leader tutorial page. Great, we understand the basics of student cohorts. Now let's look at the big picture process of adopting a textbook. We will request review copies and decide to adopt a book. We'll purchase the book for the first cohort, assign secondary group leaders, access ancillary packages, view student progress, and then start the process all over again if we're purchasing a different textbook for the same group or a textbook for a new group. Let's take a closer look at each of these processes. As we've briefly discussed, the process begins when the appropriate person at the school requests review copies. They'll fill out a form, identify themselves as the proper person to be the school's primary group leader, and then provide school details, the details we need to set up the school account. They'll choose the textbooks they want to review, and they can also request review copies for teachers at this time. So long as everything checks out, we'll set up the school with an account and send a welcome message and login details to the primary group leader and their instructors. Great! You and your team now have access to the textbooks you've requested, and you can start your review process. When you want to access your textbooks, you're going to go to massagemastery.online and you'll log in with your username and password. You'll choose School to load the correct dashboard. Your textbooks will be waiting for you as you scroll down from the welcome message. Just click on the Access button and you'll arrive at a table of contents. Nice! You've reviewed a textbook and decided it's a great fit for your school. You want to adopt the book. What's next? Next, you'll purchase digital textbooks for a cohort. This is an easy 4-part process. Let's take an overview look. You'll purchase textbooks for your cohort from the school dashboard because this is the only place where you can buy books at wholesale prices. During the checkout process, you'll name the cohort for future reference. Once the textbooks have been purchased, you can assign them to students and assign administrators or teachers group leader status for this particular student book cohort. We will send students welcome letters and we'll send them their login details. Students will be able to access their textbooks within minutes. When you need to purchase for a new cohort or want to purchase another textbook for an existing cohort, you'll go through exactly the same process. Be sure to watch this tutorial, which covers this process in depth. This video addresses these important topics. How to get wholesale prices, naming a cohort, assigning textbooks to students, assigning teachers to cohorts, adding a student who enrolls late, deleting a student who has dropped out, purchasing through a licensing key, and purchasing through another process, like through an invoice or through a bookstore. Next, let's go ahead and access ancillary packages. Some textbooks have ancillary packages, while others include everything in the textbook itself. You'll see available ancillary packages listed on the textbook information page, like this one here. You'll also see ancillary packages listed in the textbook catalog here. When you click on the ancillary package, you'll advance to an information page that provides an outline of ancillaries and samples. You'll send a request form from one of these links asking us to add the ancillary package to your account. You can also request that we place a copy of the package in the accounts of instructors that you've designated as secondary group leaders. You won't be able to request ancillaries until you've adopted a textbook by purchasing textbooks. You don't have to assign these purchased textbooks to students right away, so you can purchase early if you wish to obtain access to an ancillary package while you're planning a curriculum piece. The process to access ancillary packages is detailed in this video tutorial available from, you guessed it, the Group Leader tutorial page. So long as a teacher or other administrator is assigned as a group leader to a student textbook cohort, they'll be able to view student progress reports. They can see if students have logged in and accessed their textbooks, if students are progressing through their textbooks. They can see student quiz scores and the number of attempts students made to achieve a passing quiz score. They can even drill down if they want to and see which items the student missed. This process is described in detail in this video, View Student Progress, from the Group Leader tutorial page. Great! We have a much better sense of the process to adopt a book and use it for a massage program. If you don't get what you need from these tutorial videos, or if you need some one-on-one help, just drop us a note by clicking the link in the footer at the bottom of every web page, and we'll set up a video conference to help you out. Great, we're ready to wrap it up. We've discussed group leader roles, we've defined the term student cohort, and we've looked at the big picture process of adopting a textbook. The next step, if you wish to take it, is requesting review copies. Thanks so much for your interest in digital textbooks. If you need anything, we're always here to help.